Are you afraid of retiring? Don't worry about it. Everybody goes through it. And I'm going to tell you what I have experienced, as I'm sure what other people have experienced too. That's what we'll talk about. Stay with me. Before I went into retirement, probably about within 6 months to a year before I decided to retire, I had to go through a lot of soul searching. Now, about 2 years before I retired, I started looking for medical insurance, what will I be using, but there was no serious consideration about retirement. Now, when I was about ready to retire, it's very difficult. Let's go through some of the aspects of what I had to go through. I have that fear of living in my comfort zone. Keep in mind, since age 2021, I have been working in Canada and in the US. And all the time, I wake up in the morning, go to the office, work all day, come home. That's up to Saturdays, sometimes, occasionally, even Saturday. And then when I get home, I still work, study, prepare for a lot of things. I did real estate part-time while I was working as an accountant. I sat for the CPA exam here. So I went through a lot of things. And all those are career movements, not staying home and retiring. I don't know too many people who from the time they were born, they already want to retire. Of course not. Once you are born, then you want to make money, you want to have some spending money, so you want to work and work and work, especially in the United States. Here, you have no life. The company owns you, and you just work for the company. And therefore, more so in the United States, people are really looking forward to that retirement, but they're very afraid to move away from that comfort zone. You have that fear of losing that feeling of importance. Somebody asks you a question, what do you do? I'm an accountant. I'm an engineer. I'm a real estate broker. I'm in sales. I'm in systems programming. You always have that title. And once you retire, what do? I'm retired, right? So you have that fear of losing the feeling of importance. That's another one. The other one is the fear, just the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. Question you ask yourself is, well, what will I be doing? Right now I'm productive, I'm so busy, but what will I be doing? And will I like what I'll be doing? Well, prepare a list of things you want to do. Do not make a decision at that point, and you will realize, oh, there's a lot of things that I could do. Then bite the bullet. This will answer the question you have, what will I do with the time that I have? Because at that point, you have nothing but time. For example, visiting new friends. And they don't have to be new friends. They could be old friends. But see, you had friends before when you were working, and so were they. And you're busy raising a family, you're busy working, and so do you. And now you're retired, most likely they are retired too. So you can spend a little bit more time visiting each other. You can do volunteer work. For what? I don't know. Maybe a hospital, if you were previously a doctor or a nurse or a paramedic, maybe you can volunteer. There are many, many places where you could do volunteer work. Helping others with your life's experience. This is really something that I truly enjoy. Now that I'm doing this vlog, I'm able to help a lot of people. And in the last couple of months, for example, an old friend of ours approached me because I used to be in real estate and they wanted to sell their property that's in Florida and they're here in New Jersey, for example. I helped them dispose of that property. It took, can't remember, I think a month or two, and everything got settled. So they were happy. I'm very happy. Learn more on investing. You have a nest egg when you retire. Where are you going to put that money? This will take a lot of your time trying to learn how to invest. Now, of course, if your previous career was in finance, this will be second nature to you. Maybe you just need a little bit of tweaking here and there because investing is not necessarily your forte. Finance is a wide area, okay? And investing is one of the specialized areas. Spend more time on your hobbies. I'm sure you have some hobbies. Gardening, sewing, cooking, fishing, boating, hunting, photography, home improvements. Listen, when I was working, since the beginning of time, I never touched anything in the kitchen. I was never cooking. And about 5 or 4 years before I retired, not in preparation for retirement, but I just happened to, the real estate market slowed down, and I just happened to be in the kitchen. I said, I wonder how cooking is, and I watched the video, Panlasang Pinoy, and I became interested. I started cooking, and now I know how to cook. Okay, I made ice cream, I made a lot of things. So I enjoy cooking. I'm not much into fishing. I was into hunting, but I was getting weaker, so I knowingly decided I will give that up. I love home improvement, carpentry and electrical work. I hate plumbing, and not much of painting, but I can do painting. So I do a lot of those. I love boating, but I didn't have an opportunity to buy a boat. Thank God, my daughter now is into boating, and she has a boat. Many things that you can do. Photography. I loved photography before. And watch this, okay? I loved photography when I was in high school. That was my hobby. I was developing my own films and such. Of course, things change. It's now digital. And I didn't have any plans on video making. My plan is to travel and explore the Philippines or other parts of Asia. And that was really my plan. I said, gee, since I'm interested in traveling, it'll be nice to take pictures. So maybe I can post this on YouTube. And I didn't even know YouTube pays you for the views. I didn't know that. So I got into it. I started uploading. I was using YouTube when I was in real estate. No pay. I use it for advertising. I advertise my satisfied client. I post it, put it on my website, and they can see what people are saying about me. For example, I'm not getting compensated for it. I don't know when this compensation started, but when I got into it, I said, I didn't know that they're compensating. So I was even more motivated. So I started doing it, and now I'm doing it. It's keeping me really busy that now I don't have time to do the sewing. Sewing is another thing, by the way. I got into sewing. I bought a sewing machine, and my children gave me a serger, and I started sewing pants and shirts and things like that. And I enjoy it. I thought I was going to bring this to the Philippines, that I'm going to bring these machines to the Philippines. And this is before I got into the video on YouTube. And now that I'm so busy on YouTube and video, I don't have much time to do that, but at least I learned how to sew, okay? So these are all a result of my retirement. Now, when I was working, did I even think about these things? No. Your brain is gonna move, okay? Now, if you're the type who don't want to think about anything and you just want to lie down, don't retire. You might die early. Medical insurance, that kept me preoccupied for a couple of years, as I mentioned earlier, because that is a real dilemma. So I was looking for insurance that will insure me while I'm in the Philippines and while I'm in the US. And of course, I found the Advantage plan. It has its advantages and disadvantages, and you have to be aware of it. There's also that fear of reduced income. Will I survive when my regular income is lost? Do I have enough money or savings? You'll be surprised. You will be surprised once you quit work and that regular paycheck stops coming. you will know how to survive. Some of the things you have to consider is, you no longer have to pay for parking. There's reduced gas because you will not be traveling back and forth. No more transportation expense or reduced transportation expense. And there's also a reduction in clothing. I don't have to buy a suit and coat, and all those will disappear. And of course, you do not have to pay taxes. Of course, unless you make so much more income, for example, on YouTube, that you will hit the threshold and you will wind up paying taxes again, but it will not be as much as when you were working. So these are some of the things that is holding you back, initially anyway. Like what I said, there are very few people who just wants to retire with no holdback. Everybody sort of think twice, or even 3 times, or even 4 times before actually retiring. I had to go through it, and I am very happy I did it. A lot of my viewers were also saying that's the best thing that ever happened to them. Some of them were forced to retire, and after retirement, they're happy. They're happier. Now, one thing I don't want is to be forced into doing anything. I always want to be in control. So what are the things that might control you if you're forced to retire? One, if your employer retires you involuntarily, or if you get sick and you can no longer do what you used to do, you're forced to retire. I want to make the retirement decision to be entirely my decision. I always want to be in control of my life. I know I will not be in control of my life all the time. For example, I don't want to die, but of course I know I'm going to die at some point. Okay? So, guys, I hope this video helped you a little bit, and please do share this with others. I'll appreciate it if you click like, and please do subscribe to my channel unless you have already done so. Thank you very much for watching. Make it a great day, and God bless.